In today's video, we're going to do a deep dive on lending, just talk about my overall strategy, how I move money around, how I'm constantly thinking about my money's always got to be making me money. I don't care how little or how much, it's always moving, and how the little things add up, plus the game I play when it comes to lending and taking profit. I find most people playing this crypto game are gambling. And when markets are green and things are great and yields are high, they're like doubling down on getting in. When the savvy investor, that's what I'm like usually taking profit. Then I take that profit and I lend it out so my money's always making me money. And then when markets adjust and they bounce back, I deploy it. So at times I'll have 6 figures plus in lending platforms, which right now I've got over 6 figures lent out. Some people call me an idiot because they're like, why aren't you invested in the markets? I'm also heavily invested in the markets, but I take profit as times are good. And then I redeploy when there's market corrections. And because I'm already invested in the market, if things keep going green, I keep making money. But the second there's a pullback, I have liquidity, I have capital ready to deploy. So head on, don't copy anything I do on this. We're also going to talk about a looping strategy really quick near the end of this video, but don't copy anything I do. Go on DeFi Llama yourself, go over to categories, go over to lending, and just click away on some of the biggest platforms. Aave, you might look at Spark, you might look at Compound, you might look at Venus, you might look at Sollend, you might look at Moon, you might look at Navi. So if I look on Avalanche, I've got 24K here, making me 10%. Over on Avalanche, I've got probably another 6 or 7, 708 now, making me 14%. Over on Venus, which is more BNB, there we go, switched over to BNB on my MetaMask, got another 10K or 9.45K every couple days. All these numbers are higher than when I left them. I've got stuff over on Compound. I've got stuff over on Sui, which I'm looking to actually deploy more USDC because that's 18%, which is wild. Over on Sollend, I've got some USDC lent out at 12%, which is pretty sweet. Only $600 of USDT, but it's money's always making me money. It's my rule. Over on XtraFi, what do we got? There we go. Switched over to Base. I've got 13K here. I've got some little slivers of money sitting around here and here and here and here. So that's pretty cool. Now, how do I think about this? As I said, when markets are green, when yields are high, when liquidity pools are pumping, I'm taking my profit and I'm lending it. So that when markets correct, I can redeploy it. But you can take this a step further. Watch this. Over on Base, and I was just sharing this example inside the UIG here. Over on Base, and here's a strategy that you could deploy at scale if you wanted to. I was just sharing something. Let's say you have some ETH and you don't want to just hold the ETH, but you don't want to sell it. You want to hold it long term, but you want to take a loan against it. You could, like in this example I was showing inside the UIG, we've got a ton of trading on this, by the way. I deployed $37 worth of ETH on Base. It's only making me 0.4%, but that's not the point. Then I took a loan, a healthy loan of $10 against my ETH. I am paying 8.87% interest, but if I can borrow money at 8.8% and make more than 8.8%, ideally, you'd want to at least double that, then it's worth doing. Lo and behold, over on XtraFi, you can do 20% on your USDC. So if we do the quick math, I'm making 0.4% on my ETH, which is basically nil. I'm getting charged 8.87% of interest on my USDC. But if I lend that USDC out at 19%, I'm actually making 8 or 9% on my USDC, plus I'm keeping my ETH safe. You can do this with Bitcoin if you want. You could go over to, I guess Polygon would have that option. You could put your wrapped Bitcoin in here. You will make nothing, but then you could borrow something against it. Like maybe you want to borrow USDC at 12% or USDT at 9%, and then go deploy that to make an even greater return. Now, people ask, where does this money come from that I'm earning? Well, it's really simple. I'm making 10% on my USDC, But whoever is borrowing against their, let's just say, wrapped Bitcoin or maybe their Matic, they're getting charged 12%. Platform is doing a couple percent. I'm making 10%. Everyone is happy. So the yields and where the money comes from is super honest, super transparent. And that's that. Really hope this video helped. I really hope it got some wheels turning of like, oh, how can I just yield on yield? You hear me say it all the time. How can I make a little more money on the money I already have? Maybe I'm holding some assets. Could I lend them out and borrow against it? Maybe I'm not taking enough profit. I should listen to this Lucas guy and take profit and then gamify my profit taking by actually earning, look at what I'm doing on Avalanche, 15% on stablecoin. Maybe you're earning some stuff on Trader Joe and you're taking what you're earning and you're lending it out, keeping it safe so that when the market's correct, you've got liquidity, you've got capital. It's why when markets are red, I'm excited and I double down. While everyone else runs, hides, quits, freaks out, I'm out there deploying capital because I take profit when the markets are green. And I'd say a very small percentage of people are actually doing that. They say they're doing it, but they're not actually doing it. And their P&L and overall mental health shows. Take profit and then go make yield on yield. Always have your money working for you. Really hope that helps. I'm going to leave 4 other videos on the screen here and here and here and here. Do check them out. Study this stuff. And with that said, we'll see you in another video. Peace.